Hey, this is Brad from Argali, and I want to talk to you about why we decided to make our own sleeping bags and sleep systems. The design and the idea for this really started for me after spending an entire season from archery through late November hunts, having some really marginal sleep in some very high-end sleeping bags that I own. I own a lot of sleeping bags, and some of them there are great features of each of those bags, but it seemed as though nobody had really looked at a sleep system as a collective whole. So I think of this as a system, because it's not just your sleeping bag that matters for keeping you warm and comfortable in the night. Where you put your head also matters. So the idea for this sleep system was really to create a system that was focused on warmth and comfort to help you sleep through the night and ultimately help you recover better, and not make a sleeping bag that was full of kitschy sort of features that aren't really focused on keeping you warm and comfortable during the night. If you don't sleep well at night, it can really tax you mentally and physically. And there is no place where it's more important to stay sharp mentally and physically than when you're on a backcountry hunt. There is no center zip on this bag. We considered it for a while, but the problem with zippers is they are sources of heat loss and drafting. Even with a nice baffle tube to prevent drafting over that center zip, you can't prevent heat loss from happening by putting a center zip on the bag. Some people might think that that's an added functionality that they prefer. Anytime you put holes in your sleeping bag or any other features that make your bag sort of transform into something other than a sleeping bag, those are sources of drafting and heat loss, which is why we kept this bag simple and, again, focused on comfort and warmth. One of the things that has always been frustrating to me as a user of sleeping bags is really not knowing what temperature ratings actually mean and what I can reasonably expect to stay warm at with a given temperature rating. And so we came up with this idea that we call honest temperature ratings, which seems like a radical concept in the sleeping bag world, because there really does not seem to be a standard way of describing to the customer, the end user, what you can reasonably expect. So our 20-degree bag and our 0-degree bag, respectively, are designed to keep you warm and comfortable down to those temperatures. So when we started this project, we were really focused on using premium quality materials throughout the bag. That really starts with the down itself. So our Eastern European dry loft down is the best down you can find anywhere in the world. It's high quality down. The one thing that's different about us, though, is we use untreated down, which is different than almost every brand, especially in the hunt space, but a lot in the backpacking space. But we did our own testing, and what we found is that you get down clumping with treated down, which essentially most treated down uses a paraffin-based or wax-based coatings that causes down clumping over time, especially as you compress the bag, let it try and reloft, compress the bag, let it try and reloft. So think about as you're putting the bag in your pack, pulling it out, putting it back in your pack, pulling it out. Over time, what's going to happen is you're going to lose loft and you're going to lose warmth in your bag. The reason we created a wide cut bag too is really because mummy bags just aren't that comfortable, and you can also layer up inside of our sleeping bag. So instead of this being a 20-degree bag or this being a 0-degree bag, these bags can be warmed down to much lower temperatures if you layer up inside your bag. I'm really happy with what we came up with our Elite Dream pillow. Just the size and the shape and the comfortable face fabric here, and then the customizable fill you can do on the side of the bag to really customize the volume of the pillow. It makes for a comfortable sleep experience. We really, again, tried to think of this entire system truly as a system, not just as a sleeping bag or as a pillow, but how do these things work together to create a more comfortable night's sleep for the user. So in addition to the lab testing we did with each of these bags, we also had an extensive field testing program for our bags with a lot of different users, some who run hot, some who run cold. I personally have used these bags for a while now. I tend to sleep fairly cold. I've used our 20-degree bag down to 20 degrees, and I've used our 0-degree bag down to true 0 degrees, and I have been warm in both of them. We've done our homework, and we hope that you can trust us when we say it to be true. So hopefully that gives you a sense of why we created a sleeping bag line, and more importantly, why we created a sleep system that really prioritizes warmth and comfort so you can sleep better. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or go to our website at argalioutdoors.com.